Hello and welcome to CitiNewsroom on Citi TV. I am Umaru Sandamadu.
And I am Pearl Lakanya Ofori. Coming up.
Ghana's COVID-19 cases see a drastic increase, hitting over 2,000, but with additional recoveries and another death.
As schools remain closed due to restrictions on public gatherings, we'll take a look at how the cost of data is taking a toll on parents whose wards are studying online.
Data cost alone is, the older one goes on, she has Zoom classes every day. Now she has to do her homework, she has to do her assignments, she has to be online to do the assignments and then submit.
Activities resume at the Tamale port as government restores GCNET operations due to a challenging takeoff by the new platform Unipass.
And it's a day of music, poetry and everything else on Citi TV's Rally Round the Flag concert this Friday to honor Ghana's frontline health workers battling COVID-19 on International Workers' Day.
Let's settle for the details now. The number of COVID-19 cases in Ghana has increased from 1,671 to 2,074. This means that an additional 403 cases have been recorded in the country.
Now, the number of recovered persons, according to the Ghana Health Service, has also increased to 212 from 188. One more person has also died from the virus, bringing the death toll to 17.
The Greater Accra region has the highest cases so far, with 1,795 testing positive, followed by the Ashanti region with 99 cases, and then the Eastern region with 70 cases. The Western North region has the least with a case, followed by Northeast region, which has 2 cases, and then the Upper East region with 10 cases.
Meanwhile, coronavirus continues to spread across the world with more than 3 million confirmed cases in 185 countries, with over 200,000 deaths.
In this COVID-19 pandemic, your biggest problem, aside having to deal with children at home while trying to work from home, would also be how to educate them. Now, if you are lucky and your child's school is running an online course, that may work. But there are challenges with running an online course itself. Again, if your school is not providing online course, how do you teach your children? Are you going to engage in homeschooling? How would you do that? We've been granted rare privilege by a family to come see what they do in their house at its cantonment in Accra. So I'm going to go into this house now and hopefully meet up with the family. Hello. Kokoko. Hi. Okay. Good afternoon. Awesome. So as discussed on the phone, we're just here to have a conversation with you on how life in COVID and teaching your children is. Where do they do this? Can we see?
Yes, you can.
Thank you. Okay.
So,
all right. Hello. Okay.
So that's one of them.
Do you have to build this for this purpose?
No, fortunately, I ran a preschool, so it was pretty much easy for me to let them use my setting.
Okay.
So I didn't have to do anything. There was no extra cost to this.
Does Soul Clinic provide online lessons?
Yes, they do.
How do they do it?
They do the Google Classroom and then Zoom.
But this will come at a cost, wouldn't it?
Well, yes. It is. I mean, if you think about data cost alone, data cost alone is a bit much.
Do you need a special data plan? Do you have to pay more? How do you do it?
Well, I've had to change for home, for instance. I've had to change my data plan. Before we were not doing too much, and so we didn't have to buy too much data. Now the older one goes on. I mean, she has Zoom classes every day. She has Zoom classes every day, which takes more. And then when she's done, now she has to do her homework, she has to do her assignments, she has to be online to do the assignments and then submit and all. Then she also does her Zoom.
How much do you spend on data, for instance, monthly? Do you have an estimate?
Because for a week, last week alone, just for 1 week, we spent 200 Ghana cedis.
Just a week?
Just a week. And then we've had to buy another 295. So we were hoping that the 295 we bought will take us.
295 is gig.
295 Ghana cedis. So if you add that to that, that's close to 500 in 2 weeks.
Wow.
So we're hoping that the 295 we've bought now will take us another two weeks or something.
How long and how far are you willing to go?
Oh, it's difficult. It's difficult.
Let me speak to the persons who are either victims or beneficiaries of this COVID-19. Just turn my chair here. Hi. Thank you for allowing me into your classroom, your virtual classroom. You've not had lessons for a while, have you?
Yes.
What's the experience like having to learn from home?
It is like we're in a classroom.
But are you having to solve questions from home, do homework? What kind of things do you do when you're having these class sessions?
They give us work, notes for us to read, and then stuff for us to research on.
And it's going well?
Yes.
Okay. Wish you all the best. So if there's an examination today, you pass?
Yes.
You sure?
Yes.
All right. Okay, wish you all the best. Thank you. Let me go to the senior class. So this is the junior class.
This is primary.
So this is primary school.
Yes.
And so this is.
She's in secondary.
Okay, so this is senior high school. Hi, miss. My name is Sandra. What's your name? What are you doing behind your PC?
I'm trying to do my ICT.
Tell me what you mean by you're trying to do your ICT.
ICT.
I can see something on your screen. I'm not sure. Is that YouTube?
They sent us a video to watch to help us.
So tell me what you're doing now.
Meal making. It's about meal making.
Explain it to me. I don't understand.
It's like writing a letter and then adding some recipients list and all that.
So when you're having your classes, do you get the opportunity to ask questions, answer questions?
Yeah.
How do you raise up your hand to say me? How do you do that?
You can talk or you can use an emoji.
Which emoji?
You can talk.
Okay.
Or on Zoom there's this part that says raise hand, and then when you tap it, your hand will be raised.
Oh, so the teacher will know that you want to speak. Yeah. And then they'll call you. So you speak from your home.
Yeah.
So these are two students I've just spoken to there. And so this looks like it's an office, but it's also passing as her lesson area. Television is very important. Social media is very important, but there are also distractions for studies. How do you manage these while your children also have to learn?
Well, I mean, you just have to be firm, and you have to be strict, so that study time is study time. There's always time for play. They say there's a lot of sleep after death.
Thank you so much for speaking to us.
Thank you too.
Well, so that's a story of students operating from home, learning in their own small space, and this is because we've been granted rare access to someone's home, privileged opportunity to be in someone's home to see how they are having to teach their children or facilitate for their children to be taught online. Well, we're still following the story for you here on Citi Newsroom, the story of how private schools are organizing virtual lessons for students, and even public schools that are organizing virtual lessons for children who have been forced to go home as a result of the COVID-19. One school that is trying to do this is the Alpha Beta school at Dansoman, and it appears all hell is breaking loose. These parents massed up in front of the school today to protest. They have some challenges with the school authorities.
All we ask for is some fairness over here. Parents have lost jobs, businesses are not going right, but yesterday you are saying Alpha Beta, you are not going to teach our kids anything until we pay our school fees. No, education first. Then you think about the money, Alpha Beta. Our kids been schooling with you for a long time. But all you want, Alpha Beta, is the money. Yes. It's the money. Yes. Have you called a parent to ask, are you okay? No. Are you okay? How can we help you in this season, in this epidemic? Alpha Beta never did that.
But I do remember one thing, that the circulars that they sent to us individually says that if you have challenges with school fees, challenges with the virtual learning program, you can come here for assistance. Yes. So on which point am I being told that it's illegal for me to be here?
Have they seen the letter from the national board? They have it. Have they seen the letter from the Association of Private Teachers? They said everybody should meet with parents and discuss on what to do as to whether to pay full school fees or not. Have they told us? Even platforms you have blocked the parents from. Yes.
So parents with wards at the Alpha Beta school in Dansoman have been protesting, as you have seen there. They have outlined several issues that they have raised. I have an administrator of the school. Hello, my name is Sumaru from CitiNewsroom. What's your name?
My name is Dr. Naomi Ajipong. I'm the operations manager at Alpha Beta.
Have you seen the video from parents of your school, and what do you make of it?
Yes, unfortunately we have seen the video, but for us as an institution it's very important that our children continue their academic journey even though they are at home, because we don't know how long this is going to last. So we made preparation over the holidays to accommodate online learning. You know, many schools are doing this all over the world. It's something that's new to all of us, but it's something that we feel we have to do, because the alternative is to do nothing.
Now, the parents have drawn up what they call a proposal, a petition to you, talking about how this virtual learning should be done. And they've talked about some figures should be knocked off and so on. They're saying that you're still charging them the same amount as you charged them in the last term, even though they provide computers and other tablets for their children. What would be your comment to that?
Okay. So first of all, I'd just like to say that we are in a crisis situation. I think a lot of people are failing to recognize that this is not something that any of us planned for. And definitely there will be losses made on all sides. And yes, it is true that some people have to invest, you know, in things their side. But for us, anyway, I don't know about for anybody else, for us, apart from operational costs, we are thinking of the future. You know, our brand has existed for 32 years. So the question is, that what is the minimum cost that we can operate at, which will allow us that when we come back to school, we'll still be able to offer the same standard of education. So these are some of the factors that, you know, we took into consideration.
They're asking you to give them some discounts, and they've talked about percentages, and the document outlines 3 categories. Are these percentages that you'll be able to meet immediately? You can knock off fees that much?
We're still in negotiations with they are clients, they are one of our main stakeholders, and so we're still negotiating with them to see what's the best solution we can come up with that will be a win for everybody. Ultimately, our interest lies mostly with our students. We really want to make sure that they come out of Alpha Beta, the great product that Alpha Beta alumni are known to be, and we'll do everything in our power to make sure that that happens.
Thank you so much. So that seems to be a solution to a standoff between a group of parents on the one side and school authorities who are demanding, the parents are demanding lots of slashes in fees. School authorities are saying they'll be having a conversation with them on this particular subject. It's still our continuous coverage here on Citi Newsroom.
The Ministry of Health has rejected suggestions that the outbreak of meningitis in the Upper West and East regions that has claimed 43 lives is due to government's negligence. A Deputy Minister of Health, Dr. Bernard Okoboy, rather attributes the death to a new strain of the disease which has no vaccine yet. In an address to Parliament, Dr. Okoboy said that the meningitis outbreak is currently under control. Here is more.
The Speaker of Parliament recalled the House during the week to resume sittings to consider some COVID-19 related business. When the sitting began, a Deputy Minister of Health, Dr. Bernard Okoboy, updated the House on the situation of meningitis in the Upper West and East regions and the general situation regarding COVID-19.
Mr. Speaker, the vaccines that are given to people in the meningitis belt, including Ghana, Senegal, Burkina Faso, etc., protect the people from getting CSM caused by the various bacterial strains except NMX Sero X, that is meningitis Sero X. The Sero X has no vaccine, and that played a key role in the fatalities recorded. Late reporting to the hospital was a factor as well. Mr. Speaker, the science has taught us that the epidemic curve we witnessed in the Upper West region is not because we gave all our attention to COVID-19 at the expense of CSM. The epidemic is also not because vaccination wasn't done or is not being done. It is because we are dealing with a novel bacterium in quotes, NMX Sero X, of which there is no vaccine in the world as I speak.
His submission on the meningitis was met with strong opposition from the Dafiama Busi Issa MP, Dr. Sebastian Sendari.
Mr. Speaker, if you use 6 and 3, what conclusion would you make that will bring meaningful interventions to help the people of Upper West? So we are not surprised. The people of Upper West are not surprised because even the Ministry of Health does not understand the burden of meningitis in Upper West. Because how can you use 63 cases to make a conclusion when we had 273, out of it about 43 died? So, Mr. Speaker, I don't want to say that this statement is misleading, but it needs better and further particulars for us to really understand the situation in Upper West.
The matter of election 2020 also came up strongly in the House. The Minority Leader Haruna Idrisu called for the Electoral Commission to be summoned to the House on their plans for the upcoming elections.
The Independent Electoral Commission, created under Article 45 of this Constitution, owes this country and members of Parliament a duty. They would have to be summoned to come and give us their roadmap as to their preparedness in view of COVID. Our democracy will evolve and our democracy will survive COVID.
The Majority Leader Osei Chairman Sabonsu also hinted of an impending constitutional crisis if the battle against COVID-19 is not won before the elections.
The Constitution, we all do recognize, is a bit ambivalent beyond 2020 January 7th, when elections cannot be conducted. Any force majeure, who should be the president? There is a bit of some ambivalence and some lacuna, except to say that for Parliament, in the event of any emergency, provision is made expressly under the Constitution to have the life of Parliament extended by 1 year.
The Speaker, on behalf of the House, presented an amount of 200,000 Ghana cedis to the COVID-19 National Trust Fund. The House is expected to sit deep into the night to approve 3 tax waivers. One for the donations that are coming in from external bodies for the fight against COVID-19, and then 2 requests for the health service. One with regards to the income tax and the other regarding professional allowances for the frontline health workers. The House then will adjourn for the first meeting of this session and bring everything to an end to be recalled at a later date for the second meeting. Reporting for Citi News from Parliament, my name is Duke Mensopoko.
You're watching the City Newsroom on Citi TV. My name is Paola Kanyo here.
And I am Umaru Sanda Amadu.
Now ahead on the program, activities resume at the Tamale Port as government restores GCNET operations due to a challenging takeoff by the new platform, Unipass.
We'll tell you all you need to know on that story.
Mommy and Ninkon Sakakra. Oh no, Quano, there be added for Froba. My way insurance, you know. Wait, a mobile phone insurance. Or be at me, Yebi, as I send a bono at the phone. You answer that dial *165#. 3 city sister pesos. I copy 15 city sister pesos. What's may be when insurance cover? When you know, meet me, dear man. But your man who are quite so your money for back account. Where do you say a simple? So who become my way with saying one? Nothing money in a BNC. I'm one claim insurance. Yes, I see sick. I'm 5% back. *165#. What's me the savings so? My way insurance. Abamobia. And my way. I said no way.
Yeah, my way. I said no way. My way, a product of my life and MTN Momo.
Data, extra minutes, and extra unlimited calls. Not just that, even our extra data doesn't expire. Simply dial *111# to bundle now.
Airtel Tigo. Life is simple.
You're welcome back. Now, the long room of the Tamale Port was on Thursday afternoon filled with scores of freight forwarders who rushed to pay their duties to enable them clear their goods from the port. The rush follows the shutting down of the GCNET and West Blue systems on Tuesday and Wednesday to pave the way for the implementation of the Unipass system. After some discussions, the two systems were made to run concurrently to enable freight forwarders clear their goods. Citi News' Tamale correspondent Elvis Washington reports.
The 2-day shutdown by the biggest clearing platforms at Ghana's main port was as a result of an earlier directive from the office of the Senior Minister Yao Osafo-Mafo, asking them to make way for a new platform, Unipass, to operate at the port. But the system came with its own challenges, as freight forwarders were unable to use it to pass their declarations, hence their inability to pay duties at the various banks. As a result, the GCNET system, which is to be phased out, was restored on Thursday afternoon, resulting in a mad rush at the banks as freight forwarders defied the social distancing protocols to pay their duties in order to avoid the payment of demurrage and rent charges. Some of them spoke to Citi News.
Yes, I'm going to the bank.
Okay. I can see you guys are rushing in.
Yeah. Why? There's a queue there. We are just waiting because since tomorrow is holiday, we have to wait and pay to prevent demurrage and stuff. So we are waiting.
Yes, currently because GCNET is back, the EMBA portal is back. So now we can transmit entries. So that is why you can see the queue there, because that is what the system has created now. So currently we have to go through queue to even pay. Already because of the COVID-19, most of the banks have reduced their staff, and we always queue to pay. But currently, because of this situation, something else we are supposed to queue and then pay in the next 1 or 2 hours. It's going to take about 4 hours to pay currently.
It's back. I've just transmitted and entered and paid. Just paid. We have no choice than to pay and clear. So that's what I'm doing now. Okay. Very, very happy. Very, very happy. And I learned it's going to run concurrently, but I will choose GCNET any day. I'm scared to even put my entry to Unipass, because right now even MPS is not on it, and that is where my goals is. So where would I send the entry to? So I'm using GCNET. Yeah.
The freight forwarders further advised government to ensure that stakeholders are adequately educated on policies each time they seek to roll out a new project.
With this Unipass stuff, if they are really engaged stakeholders very well, we've been speaking every now and then. I don't think always what they do is go to the big men alone and then they say certain things, and then when it comes to the implementation, you see that everything is flawed. But when they really come to the grassroots to really speak to people who knows what they are about, I don't think these things will arise.
They should consult. Brother, consultation will help. And you see, if you want to do this, maybe, okay, with what I've heard and what I've heard from them and read from their sites and stuff like that, single window. But now it's not working like that. So if you should educate us, we are the system US. We are on the foot. So you educate me. This is how it's going to work. Then we know. Oh yeah, this is how it's going to work. We don't want to help the country, but you see, maybe what you are bringing will be best. You see, far better than GCNET, save cost and stuff like that. But as you going through or going right, you see, many people even don't understand what is coming.
I will urge them that if they are bringing anything at this spot, they must take precautionary measures on it, because the thing is like everybody wants to show his or her crutchy powers.
Meanwhile, the Trade and Industry Minister Alan Tremantin, a Deputy Finance Minister Kweku Kwating, and the Commissioner General of the Ghana Revenue Authority (GRA) were at the port on Thursday to hold a crucial closed-door meeting with the leadership of the freight forwarders and other industry players on the way forward for the implementation of the Unipass system without hitches. Citi News understands from sources within the meeting that the Commissioner General of the Ghana Revenue Authority (GRA) said he would issue a directive that will allow the two systems to run concurrently until one is phased out. He further gave assurance to the freight forwarders that they have a dedicated team made of IT personnel and customs officers that are working to assist them to address the challenges. He is said to have further described the Unipass system as a good infrastructure that will help reduce freight costs and also increase cargo traffic into the country. But the Executive Secretary of the Importers and Exporters Association, Samson Asaki Awingobit, who was also present at the meeting, noted that the government team present have assured them of a quick response on the issues raised at the meeting.
The Trade Minister was in the meeting. The Commissioner General who was issuing these instructions was at the meeting. The senior minister consultant or a senior office advisor, one of the advisors was in the meeting, and so all these people were there when we were raising this, and then coupled with the deputy minister in charge of the revenue was also sitting in the meeting, and we have proposed this to them. They said they will go back to camp, and as I said, they said they were going back to have a meeting at the Flagstaff House, at the Jubilee House. We wait to hear from them.
However, a letter cited by Citi News and signed by the acting deputy commissioner of the Customs Division of the GRA, Francis Tonlongo, said due to the unfortunate circumstances that slowed activities at the port for 2 days, customs will operate normally on May 1, which is a statutory public holiday.
Let's stay with the story because GCNET says it was able to process over 1,500 declarations just an hour after the company was directed to recommence operations. GCNET was ordered by the Office of the Senior Minister to hand over the single window platform to Unipass on April 28. Speaking to Citi News, the head of Communications and External Affairs at GCNET, Abba Loko, said the company is now generating the needed revenue for the state.
We have restored that system, meaning that now, and then the interesting thing is that we restored the system about an hour and maybe 30 minutes ago. And I I am overwhelmed and would like to use this opportunity to thank the agents for the trust and confidence they have in this tried and tested service provider and the platform that we have provided. I mean, in less than an hour, we have 1,500 new declarations that have been put in, and they are using the platform to make payments. You know, the automatic container at the terminal 3. So containers which have finished the clearance process are able to go through. They are not doing it manually anymore.
Still on the issue, a member of Parliament's Finance Committee, Isaac Adama, has cautioned the Senior Minister Yao Osafo-Maafo to desist from imposing the Unipass system on the country's ports. The Bolga Central MP claims the Unipass system is inferior compared to the existing system, which has consistently delivered superior value to government and businesses at the ports. Addressing the media in Parliament, the MP questioned the efficacy of the Unipass system.
We cannot allow somebody who belongs to a generation that is already gone to sacrifice the future of the next generation. And I want to take this challenge to the senior minister that he cannot be looking for his pension from the resources of the people of Ghana. He must deliver what is value-driven for our people. He must not spend the penny of the people of Ghana to buy out a contract that is more superior and better than the existing contract. And he must not pose any additional risk to the business community at the port, who have already suffered enough because they can't even import the goods into the country. Ghana is on the verge of a disruption of our entire supply chain. If this coronavirus continues for another 4 or 5 months, we wonder how we'll get the imported goods that we've been living on from. And these investors are struggling to clear their ports, their goods at the port.
President Akufo-Addo says the government is impressed with the contributions of academia in the fight against the novel coronavirus. Nana Akufo-Addo says the research and timely advice to the government from academia is helping in decision-making. Now, speaking at a meeting with the leadership of the University Teachers Association of Ghana, UTAG, at the Jubilee House, the president said that government would continue to rely on academia for a local solution to this pandemic. Citi News' Sami Wiafe has the rest of the story.
Thursday's meeting formed part of the broader government consultation with relevant stakeholders on measures taken to curb the spread of the coronavirus in Ghana. Ghana's case count as of Thursday, April 30, stands at 2,074. President Akufo-Addo on March 12, 2020, closed down all public schools, including public universities across the country. Nana Akufo-Addo says his administration is so far impressed with the contribution of academia in the efforts to check the spread of the virus in Ghana.
Apart from the normal work that you do, to provide guidance for our young people at the tertiary level, it's a very important national contribution that you make in your normal, everyday assignments. We're very beholden to you for the contribution, the particular contribution you're making to this fight against the pandemic. The Ghana Academy of Arts and Sciences, which groups some of the scholars of the academic fraternity, has been very cooperative and helpful. I'm now receiving regular updates from them, giving us their input into how this fight should go on. The work that has been done by our scientists, both at Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology and of the Premier University in Legon, are highly commendable.
UTAG President Dr. Charles Mafo, on his part, says the association is happy with how government has handled the pandemic in Ghana.
Your Excellency, we would also like to say something about the way you have led during this period. I must say it's commendable. when this whole crisis came and some associations started issuing statements as to how things should be managed, youth had to come out because we put some of our experts at work, and they came up with some suggestions as to how we could contain the crisis. So we came out. You mentioned a few points too. Ghana, and particularly you, we've been following the actions that are being taken. And we feel very much at home with them because we feel like what we put out there, most of them are being pursued by yourself and your leadership. So, Mr. President, we want to again
Friday, as the judicial panel gave its judgment on the Akuapem Paramounts 2.
Now, the case, which involves Lily Agyeman versus Nana Addo Dankwa II and 3 others, has been pending for several years since the demise of the late Okuapem Nana Addo Dankwa III.
The panel ruled that the petitioner Lily Agyeman is a abrewachia of the Royal Sechibia House and has the capacity. The panel also gave a restraining order against Odishie Kwesi Akufo from carrying himself as the chief of Okuapem.
Now, counsel for the petitioners, Augustine Asafo-Ejei, who represented legal practitioner Captain Inkrabya Ifadate, spoke to the media after the judgment.
I came to court that Odishie Kwesi Akufo should be restrained from holding himself as the chief of Okuapem, and that his nomination or purported nomination is unlawful. It is upheld. You understand? And so far as I am concerned, it is clear that the judgment was entered in my favor, in fact my client's favor. So that is what I make out of the whole judgment. It is in the suit that the capacity of my client as a brewery was challenged. You understand? And you heard the ruling, or the judgment, in fact, the judgment. And it says that the petitioner, the argument, has the capacity to commence or to initiate the action. And so her capacity is sacrosanct and is established.
This is still Citi Newsroom on Citi TV. Still ahead, it's a day of music, poetry and everything else on Citi TV's rally around the flag concert this Friday to honor Ghana's frontline health workers battling COVID-19 on International Workers' Day.
We'll bring you details of that story when we return. Stay with us.
Understanding on some of the difficult subjects you struggle with in school. As a student, do you feel dissatisfied with how hard it is to figure out a subject you're learning? Or as a parent or guardian, do you worry that your child is struggling to understand some of the subjects in school? Well, now you don't need to sign up for extra lessons or tutors. Simply tune in to Class Act, Mondays to Thursdays at 5:30 p.m. on Citi TV. Class Act is a show that seeks to enable senior high school students gain a much better understanding of what they learn in school. All you need is a TV, a chair, your notebook, and your pen. Get clarity on subjects such as maths, English, IT, and science. Class Act airs every Monday to Thursday at 5:30 p.m. on Citi TV on DSTV channel 363 and GoTV channel 182. Don't forget your pens, pencils, and your notebooks, and tune in to Class Act only on Citi TV.
Citi TV is live on DSTV. Go to channel 363. On GoTV,
Access Citi TV on channel 182. On a digital TV, please press the menu button on the remote control and run a new search on your TV. Take note that without an antenna, you cannot access Citi TV on your television. Citi TV can be accessed on a free-to-air digital box like the Go TV and Star Times box. Citi TV, it's your world.
You're welcome back. Now, inhabitants of communities along the deplorable 35-kilometer Asasitre-Jampre Junction Cocoa Road, which is a major food basket in the Elembele district of the Western region, want government to fix the road in 12 months. Residents who spoke to Citi News following reports that work is about to commence on the road say they have suffered enough due to the deplorable road and want the rehabilitation works done. Our correspondent, Akwesi Ejenim, has more.
For decades, the Elembele district was known for its coconut plantations, but in recent times it has become one of the dominant cocoa production and crop farming areas in the Western region. However, the communities spread along the deplorable 35-kilometer Asasitre-Jampre Junction Road have never benefited from the government's Cocoa Road project. On hearing that a pothole-ridden 21-kilometer stretch of the road was going to be rehabilitated, residents appealed to government to commit to the project.
And some more time, I said, Kadia Cono, and Saquadi cocoa so, and I said to me, ABI, can it to me sell cocoa so? I may ask you any money chaco conansa. Last week, Wednesday, brother, a quiet few crop on your quasa sitre. Can it done any ever crop? I may answer you in women to brother, a bremoto. Almost Yanni said, Mamma, you Bacusa, and now master your motor, not for cocoa. And sign a coffee motor in Tinamsi and Cano Cre. Your hot city, Abama, Modiana, why or when they are better. Because you have ever been in your free hair at the cock. Cocoa cats be better by have a faco. Until Panatawa, on wire, near better.
For about 10 years ago, we have maintenance on this very road. But now, the people have stopped doing that work again. So that is why I'm saying that I'm happy today.
The repair work will cost about 12 million Ghana cedis and it will come from the Cocoa Fund. The Western Regional Feeder Roads Manager, Felix Bakumbi, explained the project outlook and its duration.
The scope of works is building the road up to the gravel finish level. That is, we will be clearing the vegetation, improving upon the drainage structures, like places like this, where we find water going over the road. We'll be putting in cross drainage structures, which we call culverts. Now, these culverts will enable the water to go through them so that it doesn't flow over the road and create. We'll put a gravel wearing course on the surface of the road to improve upon the traction so that vehicles can plow on it at all weather situation. It's expected to be completed at the worst a year away from today.
The district chief executive of Elembele, Kwesi Bonzo, who saw the poor state of the road with the contractor, Medmo Company Limited, said the Cocoa Road project will be monitored keenly as it will open up the area to development.
Elembele district as it is now is one of the highest cocoa producing districts in the country. Unfortunately, none of the cocoa producing areas is accessible. So it's been a burden on Cocoa Road, on Cocoa Board, and we have had a lot of recommendations. We have written a lot of letters, and we are thankful and grateful to Cocoa Board for coming to our aid and then listening to the plight of the people. at least so they can be able to cut their cocoa from the farm gate to the market centers, and then the cocoa board their own areas of the operations. We just spoke to the contractor. He gave us assurance that although he has been given a year to complete, you work hard within 6 months and complete the project. So what we will do now is for us to supervise and keep an eye on as a local authority.
The DCE also inspected the construction of a 200,000 Ghana cedi fish market at Enyinase, which is to help decongest the local market in terms of social distancing due to the COVID-19 pandemic.
The University of Energy and Natural Resources in Sunyani has benefited from a disinfection exercise carried out by waste management company Zoomlion Ghana Limited in collaboration with Citi TV. Now, managers of the university say that they are taking steps to disinfect again at the beginning and end of the semester. Citi News' Michael Sapon in Fum reports.
The disinfection exercise at the University of Energy and Natural Resources in Sunyani, which started around 7 a.m., lasted for close to 3 hours and was undertaken by 12 personnel from Zoomlion Ghana Limited. They disinfected the campus, lecture theatres, offices and hostels, among others. The general manager for Zoomlion Ghana Limited for Bono East and Half Regions, Esther Abayete, spoke to Citi News on the exercise.
Our institutions need us because this is the place that our children come to learn. And if we don't tackle that aspect and then they return to school, the tendency of them contracting it is also high. So that is the reason why, as a company, we decided to move in and then make sure that we disinfect this place before our children even come back to school. And disinfecting it, we are controlling the viruses, not only the COVID-19 viruses or any virus that may cause any kind of disease to our children.
The acting University Relations Officer of the University of Energy and Natural Resources, David Chumesiankra, was impressed with the exercise.
I think that it's a very appropriate arrangement and it's an organized one, and we appreciate the collaboration and the efforts between Citi TV, Citi FM and Zoomlion Ghana. You know, this is an environment that contains human beings, and also we have animals coming around. You can see a lot of bats around. And we feel that this COVID-19 has opened our eyes and minds to a lot of issues that we think that needs to be addressed frequently. And this is timely for this exercise to take place. And I would have wished that we could do this exercise by the end of every semester or the beginning of every semester, not only because of the existence of this COVID-19.
The Bono Regional Office of the National Health Insurance Scheme was also disinfected.
Now, 1st May is dedicated every year to the celebration of workers. But in the wake of the coronavirus pandemic, one group of workers whose contributions to the fight against the disease has come to the fore are health workers globally.
Now, these health workers are risking their lives and that of their families, trying to keep others alive amidst limited personal protective equipment and poor remuneration in some cases.
These and many other reasons inform Citi TV's belief that they ought to be celebrated. Wondering how the station plans to honor these gallant workers, especially during this era of social distancing, here's a report by Citi News' Michael Obodo.
We all can't gather together at stadiums, parks, or events for programs anymore since the coronavirus pandemic took that privilege from us. So Citi TV decided to bring the party to our homes through its Rally Round the Flag concert. The show features a wide range of musicians from Amanzaba, Akwaba, Sinaso for high life lovers.
If you want go disco.
Jolly, 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 show jolly, oh jolly, jolly, show jolly, oh jolly, jolly, she oh jolly, jolly.
Joe Metal, Tego Sisters for gospel music enthusiasts, and Ochame Kwame Creamy and Dr. Drew for the trendy youthful souls. Poets Apioko, Nana Addo and Chief Mumin would also take their turns to entertain viewers with their words, lines, and rhymes. The event is mainly in honor of all frontline workers in the country who show up at work to help others while endangering their own lives. A physician cum singer Nilante will also mount the stage to perform. It's safe to say that almost everybody has been impacted by this outbreak, but definitely not as much as these frontline workers, as some have contracted the virus and even died while seeking to save others.
Well, indeed, I'm imagining how you'll be dancing from your couch tomorrow.
Well, I'll be at home, so of course, you should come to my home and see my moves.
No, Pearl, no.
Have you seen me dancing in the newsroom before?
I can't come to your home, Pearl. But I know you are terrible at dancing.
Oh, no!
Please, the floor is your floor. Hey. It sounds good. If I had some cash, I would have sprayed it. Actually, I should spray some cash on you, huh? Would that be cool? Would that be cool? No, that's too much. I would have. But who is your favorite act tomorrow?
Well, I'd love to see Ochame Kwame. I'd love to see Manziba sing. I'd love to. And what's the name of the lady? This lady who sings the Ghana songs.
Simi.
Sina Soul. I love her voice. I love her voice to it. I'd love to see Sina Soul too. I'd love to see Creamy.
Yes.
See him perform.
You have a crush on him or so? You just mentioned the name.
No. I have a crush on someone. Do you want to know?
Give me an idea.
He's not performing anyway.
Okay, all right. But I mean,
I wish I could go lobby for him to come and to come perform.
I mean, for me, one thing that excites me, Pearl, is that the health workers is critical. While everybody is running away from the battlefield, they have to go and they have to gown up and go. With or without PPEs, they are there fighting, and it's a good thing that we are celebrating them. And if you're home tomorrow, it's May Day. Usually you would have gone to the beach or anything. Don't do that. You are not allowed to do that. Just sit in your couch, get some popcorn. If you're not good at making popcorn, fry kosi or something. That's if you're not fasting. If you're fasting, don't eat anything. Just cross your legs, switch on the TV, put it on Citi TV, and just enjoy the concert from 9 a.m.
to 3 p.m. You are fasting, so I'm wondering what you'll be doing.
I'll close one eye and watch.
You don't want temptations?
No, it's Friday. I would have gone to the mosque, but hey, that's Citi TV. We bring you all of that.
Of course.
And indeed, there's more on this particular plan. If you go to CitiNewsroom.com, you see all the details there.
You can subscribe to Citi TV on YouTube for more exclusive video content from Citi TV.
Download the Citi Newsroom app from the Google Play Store and keep updated on the go.
You can also watch Citi TV on DSTV channel 363 and of course on GoTV channel 182.
My name is Umaru Sanda Amadou.
And my name is Fiola Kanyo. Thanks so much for watching.
Happy